I am the tollman. I sit on this lonely desert toll booth and collect the tolls from people who pass by. When it's quiet in the night, I hear voices of people arguing, but nobody is near. I can see for 2 miles to the west over the white hot sand, and the east is a dune. I sit in my lonely booth and collect the tolls. Today someone approached my booth. I could see them in the distance, and as they drew nearer I could make out some details about them. He carried a large backpack and came from the direction of East City, or the city, or... yeah, just the city. The E stands for earring, but you don't want to know why. The city is a violent place. Years of moral decay had led men to devolve into a species of violent barbarians, ripping each other apart and wearing the bodies as adornments. I left the violence and the violent city with it. This man approached my booth today. I could see he had walked a long way. He had a scarf around his face to keep the sand out. His shades over his eyes. He looked weary but strong. His gait was sound, and each footstep seemed to have purpose. As this man drew nearer to my booth, he pulled down his scarf to speak to me. Then he fell down dead. I exited my booth through its only door in the rear and circled around the man. He lay there on his face, dead as the sand that surrounded him. I studied the scene for several minutes, attempting to decipher what had happened to the man. With no sound answers, I dragged the man behind the dune to the east. It's only several yards to the rear of the dune, and I tugged him back there to put him near the others. This is not the first time this happened. In fact, for several years, this had been happening. I will see someone or group of people, even whole families, approach from the west, coming to pay their tolls, and they bridge the distance between the horizon and my booth, and then they fall down dead. I then take them behind the dune to Hinnom. That's what I nicknamed the place, the Valley of Hinnom. It's not really a valley. I cannot figure out what causes it. I've searched the area around my booth, and I found nothing queer to speak of. The problem is I cannot leave my booth for too long. It's just weird thing of mine. I don't understand it, but when I'm finished putting the man back behind the dune, I scurried back to my booth. I never look at the bodies. I never leave my booth for too long.